What's up, guys? Thanks for watching this video and welcome back. My name is Evan. Quick question for you as a teacher. Do you spend most of your Sundays with just a knot in your stomach and you're just sweating and nervous waiting for Monday morning to come? If so, this video is for you. If you were like me when I was teaching and you'd get home from work and you would just sit in your car an extra 5 to 10 minutes because the sheer energy of just getting out of your car, and God forbid there was anything in the back seat that needed to be grabbed too, and you just sat there for a while because you liked the peace and quiet and you're tired, this video is for you too. And if you can't even remember the last time you did something outside of school that you truly enjoyed, like I'm a big video game player and I played no games when I taught, or I like to watch movies and movies brought me no more enjoyment, if that sounds like you, this video is also for you. And I'm not here to tell you to quit teaching, I never have. But what I will say is that I'm going to try and give you permission to not feel bad about quitting teaching, because Lord knows if you're trying to get out of teaching, the social pressure and the title and the whole ego and stuff is so hard to get through. And I've been there. I have 7 signs that teaching just isn't cutting it for you anymore. Before we get into the 7 signs that teaching just isn't for you anymore, which is fine, I want to give you some data and research I found while making this video that no one else is really putting out there and really giving the teachers in a plain sense of talking. Because I want to make it clear before we get into this. This isn't about being weak. This isn't about not being able to cut it anymore. The numbers tell a very different story, and I want you to not feel bad. Statistic number 1. Teachers are the single most burned out profession in the United States, and it's not even close. The national average, teachers as a profession, is 14% higher than any other job. That's including police officers, trauma surgeons, and military. I'm not saying what we do or what we did is more important than that, but good Lord, the teachers day to day are 14% more burnt out than trauma responders. What? Number 2, according to Rand State and other reputable resources from different colleges and research forums, found that teachers earn on average $75,000 a year at their penultimate. The corresponding work for the private sector and similar amount of effort across the country is $105,000. The difference between your profession and the equivalent on the private side is $30,000. And to add to that, only 4 out of 10 teachers get a real pay raise a year after adjustment for inflation. What the hell are we doing? Here's another one that'll make you feel really bad about a profession. 30% of teachers have a secondary job, averaging 13 extra hours per week on top of doing what they're already doing. I had to serve on weekends. I worked at Olive Garden when you're here, your family, brother, and I ate so many free breadsticks and soup in the back, and I treated Andy's Mints like they were never going out of style. I worked at a breakfast place. I worked Uber. I've been there, and it sucks. So as we go through these 7 things that kind of give you permission to be like, harumph, maybe it's not me. This is all real things that are happening to everyone else around you. You are not the problem. The problem is a systematic problem that none of us are going to fix one-on-one. It's just not going to happen. And you trying to kill yourself over proving to people who you wouldn't take their advice anyways, prove to them that you're strong, you're willed, you got all this. I'm going to keep teaching even in the face of adversity. They're not going to make a plaque in your name for it. You're just going to retire burnt out and more stressed than everybody else with no retirement fund, and no kids kids will remember you, but like at what cost? You recognizing this is not weakness. It's basically just self-awareness. And before I jump into the 7 things, here's a quick anecdotal story for you to prove that point. At my old school, we had a chef. He was a teacher. He taught the culinary class. Great dude. He got cancer and he died. Unfortunate, rest in peace. That school replaced him in 3 days. 3. And the room's not named after him. And of course, we all remember him fondly and we speak highly of him. But the school moved on in 3 days. You are not going to change this system. So you trying your best, yes, I respect it. But if you have any of these 7 things in the back of your head, maybe it's time to move on, because you've already given back more than 99% of Americans as it is. That is a hill I will die on, the amount of work teachers put in. But you only got one life. right? So like, I'm here to give you permission to stop feeling bad about it. Starting off with our number one thing, Sunday night spookies and scaries every Sunday. If you have anxiety every Sunday, brother, you got a problem. Like, that's not regular or normal for a job. And I'm not talking about like, ooh, I don't want to work tomorrow, it's so nice in here. I'm talking about the pit of your stomach is turning Sunday night. You are sweating. Your spouse or kids are like, Mom's got to teach tomorrow. We all got to be quiet because she's on edge. Every Sunday. That's crazy. And to make you feel better, this is actually a scientifically studied thing. It's called anticipatory anxiety. And the same research says people who have chronic anxiety and stress at work have worse life outcomes, worse happiness, and most importantly, worse health outcomes. Your physical health is actually at risk. Heart attacks, strokes, high blood pressure, aneurysms, all that comes from a job like this. When I got out of teaching, I realized that my Saturday and Sunday are mine. I can clean the house without feeling guilty. I can go to the movies. I can go to the beach. I can play games until my heart's content and my eyes burn out of my head. But it's my time. If you think your weekend belongs to your school, Houston, we got a problem, a real one. This is not sustainable by any means. If you have an occasional scary Sunday, like I do with my job, we got a new software launching tomorrow, we got a big class coming in, that's normal. Once in a blue moon, normal. Good, right? Adds pressure. I'm ADHD, I like to be motivated by timelines. If it's every Sunday, you are not only risking your health, you're losing 1/7 of your entire life to stressing about a thing you cannot control. So if you have this issue every Sunday, this is your first sign, it's time to get out. Signal 2 is that the salary math, it just ain't mathing anymore. Teachers already work an average of 49 hours a week. If you also work 10 hours a day, Monday through Friday, which most of you do, including driving, okay? I'm on our side, not this billionaire side. Driving to a job also counts as work, in my opinion. You are working way too much. Teachers currently work 50 hours a week, Monday through Friday. That's 10 hours a week. If you throw in driving for some of you, like I had to drive an hour to Atlanta, that's 12 hours of work a day. And now let's do the math. I was making $55,000 in my job in Atlanta, working 50 hours a week. My actual hourly rate, not including driving, was $20 an hour. I went to the local grocery store. People stocking shelves make $17. Are you trying to tell me for $6,000 a year difference, I can just go stock shelves and have no responsibility and no accountability and no emails to answer and just go make shelves look pretty and then work a weekend job to get the same pay? That's crazy. And at the same time, as someone who's on the other side in the corporate space now, I work maybe 30 hours a week, 25 hours a week sometimes if you include travel, and I make over 6 figures, which means I'm making close to $50 to $60 an hour for less work and less stress. We're not even equating or putting in buying your own school supplies or new outfits for work or whatever else you got throw on top of it. It's insane. When you started teaching, you probably felt the salary was fair because you're new. You're a little wee baby trying to not, kill somebody at that point. But now you're putting in meaningful work. You understand you're an expert and they're paying you $1,000 to $2,000 more a year and raises are on a publicly available scale and you don't even get the scale every year. That's crazy. If you feel like your time is not worth it or being fairly traded for the work and you're compensated for it, don't feel bad, because it's not greed. It's just simple math at this point. So if you've worked a second job for months now or years now, it may be time to leave and get a real job that pays you better. Sign 3, I kind of alluded to at the beginning as well, but you stop doing the stuff that you loved, which just breaks my heart. And let's be clear, you didn't stop doing the stuff that you love because you just fell out of love with it. It's because the school day is so grueling, you don't have the attention span to watch a new movie. It's because that parent in that email was such a jackass to you that you don't feel like treating yourself anymore because you feel bad about something that happened. Or some kid got a 30% and your school is saying, ooh, we can't fail them, give them a D. And all the work you just put in, all the effort you put in, is just dashed and taken away by an administrator, and you just don't feel like doing anything. That's much different than just not wanting to do something because you had a long day. You're being neglected and worked to the bone, and you don't feel like doing what you loved anymore. You got no energy for the gym, you have no interest in hobbies, you don't have any desire to see your friends anymore, and you just want to sit on the couch and not think. That's a problem. In psychology, this is called emotional exhaustion, and it's one of the 3 core dimensions of clinical burnout. And research has also shown that this particular issue affects over 40% of teachers, which is, again, far too high as a career choice. That's insane. Like people have always said, how can you pour from an empty cup? Your students can't get anything if you're just dreading everything and burnt out. Your family, your kids, or yourself. If you feel like you have not enjoyed the sunlight of your life from a passion or hobby standpoint in years, it's a sign that it's time for you to get a new job. Sign number 4 kind of goes off of sign number 2, but I really want to hammer this. If you have to work a second job, that's crazy. Research has shown that 30% of teachers in 2024, as the data catches up, they work outside the school system, averaging 13 additional hours a week. That means that you are already working 50 hours Monday through Friday, right? And then you throw another 13 hours, so your whole Saturday is gone, leaving you Sunday where you got the scaries and your tummy's rumbling and you're sweaty and your spouse is like, oh God, here we go again. So to put that in perspective, 33% of teachers are working every single day of the year with no days off. And when you take days off from work, you got to get a sub plan. They're not going to do anything, no offense, like to further the curriculum. So you have to then reteach and do the same thing, putting you behind. So it's not even like a day off. You're stressing on your days off too, which makes no sense. And again, I did this. I'm speaking from experience. I taught, worked at Olive Garden and La Peep and other places, and I drove for Uber at night. I had to make ends meet. I have been there. And in hindsight, so unhealthy, and I didn't get experience in my 20s, which is sad, but that's my own problems to cross and figure out later. If you are working a second job, again, I commend you. Good job. The dedication is there. I understand the system that we are in. We don't get to pick the system that we are in, and bills keep going up. So again, this is not you. I'm not blaming you. I understand I've done it myself. But you have skills that will translate to a job that will pay you enough to just have one job and get your weekends back and give you PTO. I myself get one PTO day, 8 hours, every 2 weeks. I can get 26, quick math, PTO days a year. Teachers get what? One a month? It's not even close. Your skills can generate 6 figures at another role that appreciates you. So instead of working 2 jobs for a place that, again, doesn't really care if you die. I mean, again, we do on an anecdotal level, but the system itself does not care if you die. You need to value your time more and just get one job that pays you more. And again, I'm empathetic because I did it myself. I just don't want it to come off like I'm not being empathetic. Sign 5, and this is one that kind of affected me with older kids, is your classroom kind of feels like a waiting room. And what I mean is you just kind of go through the motions with your kids now, right? You're still showing up. You're still teaching. You're in front of the class doing your thing. But the part of that genuinely, you care about, whether it's to like make a big difference in the world or it's to like bond with the students, if you don't even have that anymore, then what's the point? Like for real, life is so much more than delivering the lesson or grading papers or answering an email. But if it just feels mechanical, like the kids, you just don't even, don't bond anymore. You're not feeling energized or passionate. Like if you've gone from like Miss Teagues from Abbott Elementary to like Miss Bitters from Invader Zim, you got a problem. Shout out Miss Bitters from the homie Jordan. What's up? If teaching's become transactional, that's a good way of putting it. If it just feels like you're just giving your time for money, it's time to move on. And again, 52% of teachers cite managing student behavior as the primary source of their stress. I get that. And teachers who report less autonomy over the curriculum and pacing consistently report higher burnout. And as this country goes along, I have seen nothing but more problems with kids. And again, that's not a teacher problem. That's a societal issue that we don't hold kids accountable earlier. There's no chance of them failing. And all they have is an iPad and parents are more disengaged as ever. I don't have kids, so I don't know how that works at home, but stats are stats. And at the same time, everything is standardized. You get a big book of stupid standards you have to teach towards instead of you having any autonomy in what you're doing. If this hits home with you, it may be time to switch jobs. To build off of this is sign 6. If you truly feel like your mental and physical health are paying the price, it's time to get a new job. And no one wants to say this out loud, and no one wants to admit to it. So again, if you're on the other side of the computer, big toughy boy like I would be, you don't want to admit it, but you kind of feel like your mental health is taking a blow or you're physically having problems, I'm going to give you the permission to say, this isn't normal, because it's not. Because I do remember being a 23-year-old teacher, kind of, I'm in my 30s now, but like I remember when I first started, the stress wasn't there, the anxiety wasn't there, the health problems and the mental problems weren't there. And if they feel like they're here now, that means that the job itself, the job that you used to love, is just not the job it used to be. And here's what the data says. 86 to 90% of teachers, so 9 out of 10 of y'all watching this, identified burnout as being an issue. But given the survey results, 90% of teachers also meet the criteria for a depressive disorder or some form of depression in general. So I'm going to say it again for you slowly. If you are burnt out from teaching, there is a 90% chance you also currently have some form of depressive disorder. That's not normal. And I'll go on to say this loudly and proudly. This is not weakness. This is what happens to a body that operates in chronic stress. And that chronic stress goes months and years without compensation or support. Your admin have their hands tied to a degree, but they're not supporting you. The state has done nothing but cut budgets. The federal government, before we even get political. I thought Joe Biden's wife, being Dr. Jill Biden, at the educational Dr. EDD, I thought that was our best chance the last 3 years to have some impact on politics. Nothing happened. I got a $2,000 bonus once, and that was probably tied to COVID. It doesn't matter what political party, but the Republicans and the Democrats the last 30, 40, 50 years have systematically not supported teachers at the federal level. And the problem is your body does keep score, unlike them. Your body will remember all the trauma, chronic abuse, and stress it goes under. You may not remember in your head, but your liver, your pancreas, your joints, your bones, your lungs from smoking more or eating more or sitting at your desk and not having energy, your body keeps score, and this job is making you sick. Whether that sickness is mental or physical or both, this is not just me trying to make you feel bad. I'm giving you the information in the past to get out of teaching if you needed it. 9 out of 10 of y'all have chronic depression. It's not weakness. It's a lack of support and a system that does not value you. And this is simply information I'm hoping you can act on, because I don't want one of my viewers to be like, oh, I had a heart attack because I didn't feel, strong enough to get out. I want to give you that pass. If you have chronic issues, teaching may not be for you anymore, and that's okay. It wasn't right for me, and I'm young, right? Sign number 7, the final one is, you're watching this video. I'm gonna take a guess and say you didn't just stumble onto this. It probably wasn't like NBA highlights followed up by a cooking show and then, oh, Evan talked about getting out of teaching. Whoop-de-doo. I bet you probably searched for this in some way, or you follow me and you're like, I bet Evan's about to cook. I gotta watch this because I probably agree with him. That's the biggest sign, honestly. And while watching this, I bet there's something inside you asking this question. And if it makes you feel better, here's a nice statistic. 70% of early teachers with 5 years or less experience have already left or are actively looking to leave the field. 18% of all teachers at any given time intend to leave their job this year. What I want to get across to you, you are not alone. You are not the problem. You don't even need permission to leave. You are but a single drop in the massive wave of teachers who have been disrespected, thrown to the side, not compensated correctly, gaslit, and not supported, who are just sick of it. And you have a reason to be sick of it because it's not fair and you have one life to live. And you're probably starting to realize, I got a lot of skills I could offer somebody else who's going to take care of me, and the school is not going to be it. I promise you that. And if you are in a state that doesn't value it even more, like Florida, Texas, California, New York, Ohio, where I get 80% of my resumes from. It's not changing anytime soon. With that all being said, and me just letting it out for you, the links are below, and I am here to help. I don't want anyone of my audience to be like, I'm about to have a heart attack, I don't want to leave teaching. You can leave teaching. No one's stopping you. This is all fake. The school year is fake. All this means nothing. Deadlines aren't real. KPIs aren't real. You can just leave, and no one can say or do anything. And with that being said, if you want to leave teaching like I did, here's some resources for you in the description box down below. Free resume reviews. You want to get that bad boy queued up? I got you. You need help with the process. I have 7 free tools. I have one that'll help you find the job that's right for you. I've preloaded 100 different roles into it. It'll give you 3 that match the question or the answers you gave as best as possible. I have a salary negotiator showing you what you can probably make on the market. I even have a company research assistant. You put the company information in, it tells you what milestones, objectives, what they do simply for you down below. Free ebook, 200 pages full of my own transition stuff in there, ready to go. And I have a portfolio course. If you want to make a portfolio to show your work off, I have an 8-part YouTube course that can be found down below. If you're ready to leave teaching, I am here to support you for free, and I have premium services, but I'm always going to be in your corner regardless of anything else. If you have the time, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification, brother. Yeah, hit that so hard. And then make sure to drop a comment. If anything I said resonates, I'd love to hear from you. I respond to all comments, and it means a lot. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you guys next time on a most likely happier note, and we'll see you guys then. Thanks.